This is VOA News. I'm Tommy McNeil. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, the shadowy leader of the Islamic State group who presided over its global jihad and became arguably the world's most wanted man, is believed dead after being targeted by U.S. military raid in Syria. A U.S. official told the Associated Press late Saturday that al-Baghdadi was targeted in Syria's northwestern Idlib province. The official said confirmation that the IS chief was killed in an explosion is pending. No other details were available. The official was not authorized to discuss the strike and spoke on the condition of anonymity. Hong Kong riot police fired tear gas and pepper spray Sunday to try to break up thousands of anti-government protesters gathered illegally at the Kowloon waterfront. It is the latest in a series of sometimes violent clashes over more than 4 months of unrest. Again, Hong Kong riot police firing tear gas and pepper spray on Sunday. The Democratic-led impeachment investigation of U.S. President Donald Trump continued on Saturday with a testimony of about 8 hours from a senior State Department official. Philip Reeker, the acting Assistant Secretary of State for European and Eurasian Affairs, met with the House of Representatives Foreign Affairs, Intelligence, and Oversight Committees behind closed doors on the U.S. Capitol. The Intelligence Committee Chair, Adam Schiff, said that the inquiry is making rapid progress. It's focusing on whether President Trump withheld nearly $400 million in military aid to Ukraine until Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky publicly committed to investigating Mr. Trump's current political rival, that's former Vice President Joe Biden, as well as his son Hunter, for Hunter's business dealings in Ukraine while Biden was still in office. This is VOA News. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan said Saturday his nation's military would clear terrorists from its border in northern Syria if the Kurdish YPG militia does not leave by the deadline agreed upon by Turkey and Russia earlier this week.
Terör örgütü 30 kilometrelik hattın içinden veya
saying if the terrorist organization continues to carry out its attacks from the inside or outside the 30-kilometer-long strip, we will chase them to wherever they flee and we will do whatever's necessary. The deadline of 1500 GMT Tuesday was determined in a deal agreed upon by Erdogan and Russian President Vladimir Putin in the Black Sea resort of Sochi. Erdogan repeated his threat to open the gates for refugees to head into Europe if European countries did not support Ankara's plans for a safe zone in northeast Syria, where he wants to resettle the refugees currently residing in Turkey. About 90,000 residents were ordered to evacuate towns near a massive Northern California wildfire Saturday, and the state's largest utility began power shutoffs for an estimated 2.3 million people due to forecasts of severe winds and extreme fire danger. 2 previous blackouts in recent weeks were carried out amid concern that gusty winds could disrupt or knock down power lines and spark devastating wildfires. At least 7 people have been killed in Iraq on a second day of protest against the prime minister's government. As Edward Uranian reports from Cairo, the deaths follow more than 50 people killed in Iraq Friday.
Hundreds of protesters continued to show their discontent Saturday in the streets of the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, demanding political reforms and an end to widespread government corruption. Iraqi Prime Minister Adel Abdel Mahdi complained in a televised address, however, about what he called the contradictory demands of protesters. He says that he's startled to see many of those who were opposed to reform because it was allegedly being pushed by outside forces now are calling on the government to step down. Despite attempts to call Parliament into session Saturday, no quorum was reached to hold a meeting. Edward Uranian for VOA News, Cairo.
And late Saturday, in an effort to contain violence, the Prime Minister ordered members of the country's elite counterterrorism service onto the streets of Baghdad and the southern city of Syria. Find more at voanews.com. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.